Hello, hello, hello. You guys hear me good? Am I lagging? Thanks for coming to the first episode of the first broadcast of the stream. And awesome, awesome. A little bit nervous. It's weird. I feel like even though we've done like the Zoom events, I feel like this is like a whole different like platform. And but yeah, I'm excited to get this going. And thank you again for everybody that showed up on time. I hope you like the intro screen. That was pretty sweet.
Listen.
And yeah, so I feel like how I'm gonna start this off is I'm gonna talk about like some things and some topics and kind of think about it more like we're hanging out in my living room kind of thing. You want the mic louder? I can pull it up a little bit louder. How about now? Is it a little bit better? How's the volume? Yeah, so I was saying, like, think about this more like hanging out in my living room kind of thing, except like I have so much money that I can host like 50 people in my living room. My living room is so big. But yeah, think about it more as like hanging out in the living room, and we're kind of like just hanging out with each other. So feel free to kind of like just blast off the chat box, so like with whatever you like, emojis, and we just kind of like hanging out and talking to each other. And a few things. Gotcha. I'll work on that on the next one. I'll edit the notes, Richard. So a few things that we are here that I'm gonna try to do is we're gonna talk about some stuff. I love to talk about these topics with you guys, and we're kind of like gonna talk about them and see the reflection of what you guys think, and we can kind of like go from there. And then we'll go through, like, for those who've been to the Zoom events that we did a couple months ago. It was like such a long process. It was like such a big process. We had to do like multiple texts and all that stuff. The event was like 10 hours long, and it was amazing. And we had like if I'm not mistaken, we peaked at like 250 people. Thanks to Alvin waking up at 4 a.m. in Manila to tune in. Much love. Thank you so much. And yeah, and we had 250 people. We peaked at 250 people. We had 500 people coming in throughout the day from 40 something countries, and it was amazing. But it was a lot to put on. And so, as you guys know, with the current state of the country and COVID and all that stuff, it just like wiped me out. Like I was just out. And apologize to Richard on the last one. We were supposed to get it together, but I just didn't have it in me. I was just completely just emotionally and physically wiped out. And just to share a little bit of even pre-COVID, I mean, I've talked to some of you guys, like some close friends, about the struggles. I feel like a lot of us maybe go through it in different ways as we get older, and and things become a little bit like it changes, and it's the transitions. I think the transition is the thing, and kind of like the ebbs and the flow of the things. And I feel like one time I was like traveling all over and doing all this stuff. It was like peaking, and then all of a sudden, like once things start changing, so it's like shifting. And I've been going through these like struggle, like facing jadedness for once, or even like getting older and all these different things. And I felt like fighting depression, in just multiple layers. And and I've been waiting for this like second win, like the second win for like, I would say almost like 4 or 5 years, like just being down. Thank you for everybody that's following. I gotta get on that. Hope you guys like the emoji right here, num nums. Every time somebody follows, boom. And yeah, I've been waiting for this like second win for quite a couple of years, and at times it felt like the second win. Greg, thanks for showing up. And the second win sometimes felt like it would never come, and it just like maybe it would just cruise like this, just at a low for the rest of the time, And that was even pre-COVID, and then COVID hits, right? COVID hits, and then like BLM and all this crazy stuff, like our friends getting tear gas and all that stuff. Even last night, even up in Portland, and it's like so heartbreaking to see, and just like really rough and real stuff, especially here in the States. And but and adding to that layer, Jennifer, my lovely wife that we've been married coming up to like 11 years, she might popped in. She's like kind of like watching and seeing how she feels. She's been dealing with health issues for quite a number of years, and needed surgery and a neck spine replacement surgery to like go in, cut open, take the disc out, and then replace it with like a piece of metal. And as you know, like the medical in the United States is like so expensive, it's insane, even with good insurance. And so we thought maybe we could just try to put it like a fundraiser, and to see if we can get some assistance, just to kind of like help cover like a lot of the bills and a lot of the medical bills. And this was like 2 weeks ago, and so we put up the fundraiser, the GoFundMe. And I thought to myself, yeah, I was talking to my wife Jennifer. It doesn't feel right to like send it out to like people per se, because don't want to make it feel like spammy. So I just put it on my wall, Facebook wall. Just put it up, like, and then we went to bed. And the next morning we woke up, we raised all the funds. The funds was like in the bank, like, or in the fundraiser, 10 grand. Like, I mean, like it was, I was in tears. I mean, Jennifer was in tears. Like, it was one of the most like incredible things that have happened in my life. You know, like it was so blessed and so blessed and so honored to be supported like fully by this community that I've invested in the last almost a decade now, like 10 years. Like for those who like shared and donated, thank you so much. You know, I just want to give a shout out to that, you know. And one thing is the money to be able to like cover, like to help this surgery. But the other thing is to put this light in front of me, to show me, you know, all these years that I've been waiting for the second wind, fighting with getting older, depression, transitions, you know. The light was right there. It like, I couldn't deny it, you know. It's like in front of you. It's like you, even if you try to look away, it's like nah, it's right here. And so it really like gave me a spark, like the second win that I've been waiting for. It has finally come, you know. Like, and like for years, I feel like as my practice kind of like dwindle, and I would feel so like so beaten up, because I felt like I wasn't inspired to continuously train. You know, where is my inspiration and all that stuff. And by seeing this light, this thing that happened like a week ago, it really like,
Hey, listen!
Smurfs on Fire said, one of the things I found as I get older, corny and overplay as it is, sometimes I need my close peeps to be my second win for me, and there's nothing wrong needing that. Amen, for sure. Here comes Melanie Watermelon. What's up? Life is such a roller coaster. It's true. It truly is. It's like it's so insane, and at times it felt like it will never go up again. You know, like, and what I was saying is like, it really like opened my eyes to like kind of like, I was looking so internally. You know, like looking inside. Where is my inspiration? Where is this? Like where you know, like it's almost like looking after myself in a way, you know, like what I need. And by looking internally, I feel I become a shell of a person. But that's kind of like the balance of all of it. As you get older, you kind of like need to start looking after yourself. But then I feel like when I'm looking into myself, like taking care of myself fully, completely, I become a shell of a person, like just like empty. And what I want to bring up is community. I mean, the word, I feel like sometimes it's tossed around so lightly. Miss Kierkegaard Karen Negard, Maverick says watching you do anything with a prop is so exciting and inspiring. Slack drawing like none other. Thank you so much. You know, like this is the first longest break I've taken from juggling because of my wrist. My wrist is like they're busted. Like I rode a bike 3 weeks ago, fell and ate shit. My wrist is like still so weak, and I haven't been able to practice. And I feel like if it was a couple years ago, I would just be so devastated. But now I feel like with the second win and all these things coming, I've kind of like feel like I've grounded myself where like it's okay if I can practice, you know. It's okay if I want to play Fortnite a little bit, you know. If it's okay, you know. And I want to bring this message to all of you as well who's listening here. It's okay to be where you are, you know. It's no, you don't need to like beat yourself up, you know. As long as you know where you're going, you know, you're kind of like moving towards that direction. Hamza, Handpan, Steven, Marvin, you showed me so much about the meaning of community and the importance of it. Thank you so much, dude. It was crazy to saw you had to run into you at Gem and Gem after all those years. Is insane. Gregory Force, I've found that there's inherent cycles happening in our reality, and it's important to understand where we are at and where you are at, and try other things to spark that interest. Personally, I have found breathwork for me is the fastest way to access the flow again. I also noticed there are times of low energy and times of high energy. If you're lower energy, it's okay to change that focus. Most definitely. And I feel sometimes it's hard to, I feel like for me, at least for me personally, like to kind of like try to shift focus, you know? Like I feel like, and this is other things that I kind of want to talk about too as well, because identity tying with community and tying into who we are, you know? Hamza Handpans, I took a lot of guidance and took it on into my own community. Forever grateful. And definitely Jacob doesn't need to be read for the discussion. Wrist injuries take a long time to heal, dude. I'm feeling it. I'm like the old man, you know. I'm almost like in a couple years I'll be the logo, you know, like the real master. I'm like an old guy. Like I know I look young, but you know. Hey, it's Willis Wave. This is my project, guys. Meet this guy. This guy is crazy. Like, and so yeah, community. I feel like community, what I've kind of like found is it is vital to who I am, to what I am, even, and why that is so. It is my life mission, even above juggling. I think community, the community values and the community that ties people together. That is like my biggest thing. I was thinking about like how like you know, maybe you guys would have a friend like that, maybe like, you know, when you guys like have this one friend that would always try to like set up group events. Hey guys, let's do this, man. Let's do this weekend, man. Like, or like do like a Facebook event, get everybody. Hey guys, let's do this, man. He either would do that, he or she, that friend would like try to organize some sort of group event all the time, or even like, or maybe during the party, like during the party when the party's ending, he or she's like the last person that, come on, man, this is just a little bit more, just juggle a little bit more, you know. And I think like I'm definitely that guy. You know, ever since I'm like a young kid, I'm always that person that's trying to like organize some sort of like group activity. Let's see here. Morgan, so grateful for you, Morgan again. He really like pushed me to like start the Zoom event a couple months ago when COVID hit. I think even this stream thing that is going on is thanks to him, and thanks to many people along the way that kind of like brought this together, you know. And thank you again, you know, 58 people. I mean, that's big. That's big for my first stream. And thank you for the follow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for even communicating, because I want you guys to talk, and I want to hear. I want to reflect. I want to listen. You know, and streaming. What I've learned, streaming is new to me. In the last 2 weeks, I've kind of just like ventured into like streaming and just kind of observing it. And like I said earlier, it's kind of like hanging out in my living room, but it's also non-linear, and that's what I found. It's not like a show. Like a show, you know, we have like the opener and then we have the finale and then but this is more like we're hanging out in my living room. There's not like a point A to point B. You're just gonna like cruise and see how I feel, and we'll kind of cruise together. And I'm gonna do this like a couple Sundays in a row, 1 p.m. Western time. Tell your friends, you know, like, come out, hang out, and it's super chill, you know. There's not a lot of commitment. You can come in, chill 10 minutes, leave, come back, like whatever you want. It's the living room. It's the Master Wrong living room, you know. Let's see here. Have some hand pants. On that note, I feel it too. We're getting old, and we have pushed our bodies in our youth. Most definitely. Willis. Hi, Sensei and friends. Yeah. At Flow Home, Evans feels, man. So many feels with that statement. I may be relatively new to this community, but you all came into my life when I needed it, and this dedication. A time when I needed to see the good in the world, losing a lot of who I am. And time after time, the juggling flow circus community shows up again. Amazing. DJ Velveton, DJ Richard, Mikey constantly instigating community breakfast at Vulcan. Is Mikey in here? I kind of like message him. I don't know if he's in here. Watermelony, what drives you to put so much effort into bringing people together? So that's what I was gonna get to. So like, so for those who kind of know me, like. I grew up in Malaysia. It's in my bio at the bottom. I lived there for like 20 years before I became a full adult, and I grew up in a small town. Like it's like 600,000 people, but it's more like Fresno, California. Like there's no freeways, no nothing. I saw like a black person like once every 5 years. You know, it's insane there, and I grew up with my neighbors, like my neighborhood friends. And we would play basketball every day together, like for like 10 years, 7 days a week we hung out, and those were my peeps, you know, like. And shout out to one of them who died when I was 17. That was a big loss. Like I met him when I was 10. We hung out till we were 17. We hung out 7 days a week, like me and him. He was like my buddy, you know. And then one day he had to go because he had an accident. And that was a big loss. But fast forward, so my mom migrated to America, and blessings to her, she brought me here, and I came, and I was like, LA, let's go. Because I used to play ball, and I came to LA. I was ready to watch Kobe, you know, like I'm like, let's do this. And what I found out was that was not the case. I came, and I was 20, and I tried to meet people in LA. It's like crazy. It's like I'll meet somebody. I'll go, hey, what's your phone number? Let me hit you up. You get his phone number. Never see him again for the rest of your life. And again and again and again and again. And I was like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? And as an immigrant too, like there is a wall. There's a wall between American and then you as an immigrant. It's like partially it's mentally, it's yourself, but then the other part is like there is a culture difference here, and I couldn't break through. I just couldn't. I tried to like talk to people and try to meet people at Venice Beach, and I just couldn't get through. And I never even knew what depression was. Can you believe that? I never knew what depression was until it was like hitting me. I was like not shaving. I was in my pajamas for like 6 days, just like watching like TV, just this was 2004, and just like it was like rough. And I was like, you know what, fuck this place, I'm ready to go home. Like let's I called the airline. I was like, I barely had any money, but I was like, I need a ticket home. I need a ticket back to Malaysia. I'm never coming back to this place again. F America, see ya. But somehow I luckily met some Malaysian friends. I don't know Steven. I don't know if he's in here, but and that became my Asian crew. We were like, it started from like 10, and then it became 200. There was like literally 200 of us in LA, and you always see those people at raves, those Asian crew like rolling like 40 deep. That's me right there, like you know, like with the Asian peeps. Let's catch up with this. Like and let me finish here, and then I'll catch up with the messages. And so that became my community, my first community. And And after I started going to like raves, and because I was listening to electronic music before even migrating from Malaysia, I uh, I found spinning, glow sticking, and glow sticking was like my first thing. If you guys don't know what glow sticking is, like it's basically you take a pair of glow sticks and kind of like wave around and do certain things. But if you don't pay attention, you think they're just like randomly moving around. But then once you start taking a look, you slowly see that it's not sporadic. There's specific movement creating to a specific shape, like some sort of technique. And then some of it will like tie into strings and stringing is like kind of like nunchucks with like poi, a little bit of poi, a little bit nunchucks. If you don't know what poi is, there is a command, exclamation mark flow arts, and then the bot will kind of like explain a little bit of what flow arts is. And but yeah, if you guys interested in this and kind of like want to just keep on coming back, and this is mainly what it's based out of. But fast forward with that, later on as I started glow sticking, and then I was going to glowsticking.com, and then I've started learning poi, and from this guy Dan and John, Burning Dan and Alien John. This is where the story comes down to. So Dan would hold these like parties called flow tempo parties in a church Friday night once a month in Venice, where there was like fire spinning, live sculpting, and live musician. Everything was live, and I saw it randomly on the blog, and I thought, how cool would that be? I would love to check out that party. So I hit him up, and then he was holding these jams. Jams are like kind of like meetups in a park where you kind of come and practice and stuff. So I went up. I finally went to the jam, and Dan, who I consider my mentor, the brother of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, my late mentor Dan, Burning Dan, he walked up to me, and mind you, I was like just a regular immigrant raver kid, like, you know, like, and he walked up. He had like these crazy dreads and like this crazy pants, and then had this like Carpe Awesome or Free Lesson shirt, and he go like, "Oh, you must be Marvin." He like gave me a hug, and that hug till today I feel like I carry it with me. Like, he hugged me in a way where like it was the right amount of length. It didn't feel too long, it didn't feel too short, it didn't feel too tight, it didn't feel too loose, but it was just enough. And then I was thinking like, whoa, this guy, he hugged me as if he knew me, as if like I was his friend for like years. Like, how, why? And then John, Alien John, came out, and he like started spitting crazy poi and all that stuff. And then he was like, yeah, he was like just melting my mind. And I was like, so what do you guys do? Where do you guys come from? And he goes like, yeah, I just teach poi and travel the world. I was like, what? You're not in like the Matrix? Like, show me the way, take me with you. What is the website? What is the website? And then he goes like, there is no website. It's just a bunch of people, a community. And I think that's the thing. That's the funny thing. A bunch of people, a community. That's true. Facebook has exploded. PoiChat has like 30,000 people and stuff like that, and all these people that are connected. But here comes the thing. Community. I think over the years I've kind of like learned and dissect and look at it, and like imagine like community was like this guy, right? Like community was this guy. So I first learned community, and I was like, oh, community, and I kind of like, oh, community. Oh, community. Oh, community. So for years, I've been kind of like just looking at this community. And my recent findings, especially with Discord and Twitch and all this stuff, community is like a garden. It's like your garden. It's your individual garden, and it takes time to water the garden and to tend to the garden. And each person's garden is individual to themselves. Just like, for example, like my Facebook friends. I have 2,000 something. I deleted maybe 2,000 something people. And me and Noel and Richard has like the closest in like mutual friends, almost 700 something. It's insane. Like we have like 700 something people in mutual friends. And usually when somebody adds me, I just look up their mutual friends. If we have like a deep in the hundreds mutual friends, I was like, okay, this guy's deep in it. If it's not, okay, maybe he's like kind of new. But the thing about this mutual friends is that we take it for granted. We take it in a way where we think, okay, Richard and I, we have 700 mutual friends, so we're kind of like in this circle, in this power circle, and we feel like, at least for me, and we feel like over time it becomes binary, becomes one or two, either you're in or out. It's either you're in the community or not in the community, you know. And that's why you see people talk about like, oh, I'm so down with the community, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, like it's not binary. It's not one or two. Like it's a multiple Venn diagrams of each individual. That's what community is. It overlaps for sure. It overlaps, but it's not just like that clear cut black and white. It's a Venn diagram, and it's your own garden. Like just because we have mutual friends and you don't tend to your garden doesn't mean that all of a sudden I'm tending to my garden, your garden will grow. I think that's what I've recently kind of like learned, just diving through Twitch and Discord. And I'll take a quick break here, two seconds. Let's catch up with the messages. And that's basically my answer to Melanie. What drives me to build communities? Like I'm the guy. Beyond my juggling, I'm the guy. You hit me up, let's go to the drawing board, let's go, you know. But thanks again for you guys hanging in there and chilling. Let's take a look at the messages here real quick. So it's listening loudly. Thanks for bringing us together, Marvin. I never knew there was a juggling community until I found myself at MOPS a few years ago, and I have progress. Thank you so much. MOPS, for you guys that don't know, it stands for Master On's Prop Shop. So that was like the business that me and my brother ran, and we held a festival for like 7 years. Richard, could you give us a show right now? Dude, yesterday, like during Fire Drums, because Fire Drums is like the mothership of the Flow festivals, and it was my first one that Dan brought me, and that's where I saw like Club Fishtails. Like, and then in the games, in my head, in the Fire Drums online games, I was like, I gotta win this game because I need to be like the Fishtail king of the Fire Drums 2020. But the end, like I kind of gave up because my arms were like hurting and my wrist was hurting. I don't know if that was a good idea. Etheria won it though. What shoes do you have in the background? So the shoes they're like the Holy Grail, the Chunky Dunky, Ben and Jerry's collaboration with Nike. But this one is a replica because I couldn't afford to buy the aftermarket. The initial drop was like really cheap, but then if you didn't get the initial drop, you have to buy the aftermarket, which is like thousands of dollars. But I bought this one off Reddit for science to see if like how close they can make the shoe, and the Holy Grail, Chunky Dunky. Let's see here. Jesse Fox, happy to hang out. Thanks, Jesse, and thanks for coming through, and I appreciate you a lot. Listening loudly, progress immensely as a juggler and person because of the connections made in this community. Thanks for bringing us together, Marvin. And that's the other part, I think, about this particular community, this circus, minimalist, hippie, flow community. I think a lot of the pioneers, the trailblazers, the people that kind of like push the pathway to all of this, were one of the coolest human beings I've met in my life. Like, I mean, I'm not just saying like coolest. They're like so like they're minimalists, that they're like so down to earth. They're like so kind, you know, like all the criteria. It's like you mark it off, and you meet them, and you're like, I need to be like them once I grow up one day, and that is what I'm striving for. And a lot of those like pioneers in this community, shout out to Flow Toys, Ronan, Nick Woosley, you know, all like the heavy pioneers of the first generation, I think, of Flow Arts per se. epic people, and that transcends into like circus in Europe for sure. Like there's like the whole culture, and if you travel down there, and I mean you have the EJC, and I saw like Adem was in here, and you know, some French represent. Salvador Jagos, thank you for always sharing too willingly and sincerely. Thanks, Zach. Thanks for coming through, and I hope you guys are enjoying the vibe and the time. I haven't even got into like the videos yet. We're like just chilling here and telling stories in the living room. I think that's what I should call the stream, like Master Ong's living room or something like that. Waxing Gibbous, the Bay Area, maybe. The Los Angeles, no, definitely yes. Couldn't really understand what that meant, but the Bay Area is definitely the epicenter for sure. Had flown home, didn't know depression until I was the happiest I ever was at 30 years old. Yeah, that's depression. It's crazy thing. I had it again like 2-3 years ago when I was going through the transitions. Really dark times, you know. Shamanic trance. I never had a friend bring the group together as much as you. But I wish I did. I always so dependent because I didn't realize anyone wanted really to hang. We appreciate you. And that's the thing. I feel like why I'm like starting the stream is not only like the second wind coming back and reminding me of Dan and all that stuff. It's easy to take the community and the people that you have met for granted. Jadedness. You just met a bunch of people, you saw all of it, so you're I'm good, you know, I'm good. But we forget, I forget how it was, to truly forget how it was like when you had nobody. I think that's what it is. It's like if you can really think back to yourself when you was that person and you had nobody, you know, how did that feel? And I think that was what the light was showing me again with the fundraiser and all that stuff, is that there are people out there that have no communities and nobody, you know, and I want to be there for them, whoever they are, whoever they're in here, you know, like I want to be there. I want to put myself, dedicate a block of time, especially in a time like this, especially with COVID and all this stuff crazy, like the mental health, like I mean this country, oh my god, I don't even need to go there, but I just want to block out a little bit of my time and be that platform for you guys, for whoever wants to come and have this community together. And therefore, even if you see the bot, it does say the Discord. So the Discord is kind of like a sub forum from this stream. So there's like a couple hundred people in there, kind of like inactive, sort of active, but it's where you kind of like funnel in and kind of like have like a tighter group instead of like Facebook, where it's kind of like, you know what I mean. But yeah. Kenzie Hoopington, that's how they get you. Z-Best, oh yeah. Oh yo, I haven't shaved or put more than PJs in weeks or months. The thing about shaving is like I shave every like 4 days. I can't grow. I've never grown a beard in my life. I just have no hair in my body, you know. Just let's see here. Miss Carnegard, Salvador Juggles, I see you, Zach. It's Maverick. Flow Arts, there you go. Oh, that's what my name means. Nice. Yeah, Alien John, I hit him up and he's on a train somewhere from London to another part to like meet up with some friends. It's perfect level. Shamanic treads. Yeah. Ecologist definition of community by Richard is all organisms in an environment, including plants and animals and fungi, and also including predator-prey relationships. Definitely, for sure. You want to see those shoes? The Chunky Donkey what was crazy about this is that it has like a melting swoosh, and then it has like this like cow prints, and then you have like these green hills like that I've. It reminds me of Welsh in the UK when we went in 2013 for Play Festival. They had all these like green hills and all these like sheep, and then on the top here you have like a little bit of like tie dye, just a tint, you know, just enough to kind of have that hippie feel. But then if the melting swoosh and the green soles as the grass and this like cow print, the chunky ducky, and it's called chunky donkey because it's made of this flavor, the chunky monkey, and because of the shoe, I went and I was like I got to taste how it tastes. It's okay. It's okay. Like the chunky monkey. See here. Thanks for sharing all the history and yourself, Trabuku. Thank you, dude. Like, I mean, I know we have like short moments, and here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing. I think with COVID and all this stuff happening, it like shows like it like amplifies this light in our relationships and our friendships with everybody, because I think like as we get older, it's harder to go to these events, right? To these like festivals and all the time. I mean, I used to go like 25 a year. And over time, it's like harder to go. It's just natural. And then so we'll see our friends like once a year, and then maybe like once every couple of years, and like maybe like I saw you at Campfire, and then we ran each other at like Camp Q at Burning Man, you know, like,
Hey,
and
listen.
and many of these instances in this community. And if you take that and you like layer it over like the gaming community per se, it's like, or just like the world, it's kind of normal, because in a way we think we're like physical communities because we spin and go to festivals together. But when you really think about the hours we spend in a year, everybody's really an online community unless we all live on the same commune. All communities are sort of online. And this is the other point I kind of want to bring up is so on my Facebook, I take down my birthday, because I don't want people like to see like, oh, there's like your birthday, you know. Hold on a second, I gotta get this moon lamp back up. There was a moon lamp that I bought for Jen, and we brought it to Gem and Gem, and then Chango like smashed it and broke it, and he said he was gonna buy us one, but haven't heard back yet. But anyways, what I was gonna say, yeah, I take off my birthday thing on my Facebook, because I feel like when people see it, they'll just message me, oh, happy birthday, and I feel like it's so unsincere. It's like so accessible, so just click away. And then so I took it off. But then this fundraiser thing and all this stuff happening, and people like on my Facebook and on our Facebook messaging us and checking on us to see how Jennifer's like surgery went, like minute to minute, you know, like just it really shined a light. It was like, whoa, just because it's easier accessible doesn't devalue the quality of the care. Like, the people do still care about you even though they're online, even though you don't see them all the time. And that's the other part, I think, with the struggle. It's like we don't see each other all the time, and I feel like I'm like disconnected, isolated, you know, by ourselves, no community. We're just doing our own thing, surviving, and that becomes our reality. It becomes our thoughts, you know, and that is not true, because everything has a duality, you know, like the positive and negative, the yin and yang. And I think you can create your own thoughts, but it's not the complete reality reflecting on what the world is in a way. So kind of like that, kind of like a thing that I can kind of want to share too as well. Chunky Donkey, yeah, it's Chunky Donkey because there's a Nike, Ben and Jerry's. Seriously, this community brought so many incredible, talented people, and I would give it up for the world. Matchsticks, most definitely. The ghetto Elvin looking lit for science. I definitely found something in Human Flow. Any words of inspiration for people having to leave a familiar community for a long time and making a move away from the Flow community I helped maintain for over a decade, and it's leading big deals. Smurfs on fire. That's a good one. I feel like I was going through that. I was just explaining that. Like, I mean, I was at my peak. At my peak, I was like right under Richard. I think I was going to 25 events a year, teaching in all of them, multiple countries, continents. I was like 7 years. I like metal to the pedal, and then after a while, after that time, I just couldn't. My body just started shifting and getting older, and stuff started shifting. And I think that was like the first hit that I felt, like when I first, like, you know, I was like just full power, and then it's like, and then it was like, whoa. And then I start feeling like the disconnection, the feeling of me being disconnected with the evolution of the new generation. I mean, even on Twitch, you just go on Twitch and you see all these new Team Flomies and all these newer, younger cats like everywhere, even on Instagram, blowing up everywhere. Even a good example is the IJA. The IJA is a 70-something-year-old juggling organization. You see the generational shift. And it's interesting to see kind of like the shift. And I think a way of kind of like when you think you're like disconnected, it's kind of like your reality that you create, because you're never really disconnected though. You know what I mean? You feel like you're disconnected. You believe you're disconnected, but you're never really disconnected. Because why? Because the people that you have met along the way, even if they felt they're disconnected, you are still connected to them in a way. Those memories that you have with them, those moments, it doesn't have to be like a tangible one year we lived together. Those mere seconds of moments, they are so real, you know, that we carry with ourselves our whole life, you know. And I think that's what it is. Smurfs on fire. Matchsticks, I think the real difference in this community compared to a lot of others is the willingness and excitement of sharing information and helping each other grow. That's kind of hard to say, because I think I've only been invested in this community. It's hard for me to like compare it to another community if I've never been fully invested in it too. I've been invested in the basketball community before I like juggle and spin, but the basketball is so popular. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like it's like going to a gym. You go to a gym, play ball or whatever. It's like different. Like juggling and spinning is like so tight and so small, you know. Even I met Lange here. I don't know if he's still here. The keyboard community. It seems like small, you know. I think with smaller communities, you will have like a tighter. Leia, my sister-in-law. Hell yeah. Like you have a tighter bond, but when the community is bigger, you know, it's just harder to stay together and keep connected. But that doesn't mean that it's less quality. It really depends. You and Jen need to heal and do some partner poi. Oh man, that's some like that's some throwback right there. Katie, I second this. Right here. How far behind am I with the messages? Let's see here. When is your birthday? My birthday is November 23rd, close to Thanksgiving. Can you give us an update on Jen? Yeah, she's actually, I believe she's watching the stream in the other room. She said she'll come over and update you guys on her. She wasn't sure because, you know, like even being on screen is a vulnerable. Dude, I got my first donation. I was like, I haven't set that up yet. It has like a Mario emoji, but I haven't set that. Thank you for the donation. Here, yeah, here comes